Hello besties, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Brianna and today we are doing my little monthly book haul video. If you're new to my channel, I usually do one book haul video a month of the books that I accumulate in the 4 to 5 weeks. This is a collective book haul of books that have been sent to me or books that I have bought myself, so let's just get into it. Majority of the books, like usual, have been sent to me, and I think I'm going to start with Berkeley Publishing. The first book I have from Berkeley is If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia, and if you guys watched my second half book release video, then you would know that this book was showcased in it because I am so excited to read this book. I believe it came out earlier this month, and I do actually have an e-arc of it as well, but I was just waiting for the physical copy because it is so stunning. I've heard that it just gives cozy Gilmore Girls vibes. We have grumpy sunshine, small town. It says, get comfy with this cozy, slow burn romance set in the autumnal glow of 1997 small town Vermont. Yeah, I will be reading this immediately for one of my upcoming videos. Another fall-themed one from Berkeley Romance is Ghost Business by Jen DeLuca. And last fall, I read another book by this author. I'm blanking on the name right now, but this one I'm pretty sure it takes place in that same town. It's like an interconnected standalone series. Oh, Haunted Ever After is what that one's called. So this one says, clashing ghost tours lead to a sizzling romantic rivalry. Obviously, we have another one here that looks perfect for fall reading. Seriously, these two books I cannot wait to read in October. And then the last one from Berkeley is The Bachelor Cowboy by Jessica Clare. This cover, and honestly it being cowboy themed, is very much giving Done and Dusted. Literally it has the same comic style effect on the cover, and it's a cowboy romance. So I do think that's a little strange. I don't know. It just seems too similar, I guess, but let's see what it's about. Rugged Bachelor is up for charity auction in this special Valentine's Day romance. Oh. Valentine's Day. Why are we reading about Valentine's Day in the fall? Okay, doesn't Done and Dusted also take place in Wyoming? Jack Watson doesn't want anything to do with the dating scene in Painted Barrel, Wyoming, but when his sister-in-law guilts him into joining a bachelor auction, Jack can't say no to a charity event. He's not totally heartless, and if all the winner wants is an extra ranch hand for a few days, he can do that. Of course, Jack changes his mind as soon as he meets the winner, shy Layla Schmidt. As the local accountant, Layla isn't used to being noticed by men. She's sure not the type to bid on a bachelor, but when she tells her mom she's bidding on someone she has a crush on and her mom shows up to check, she has no choice but to offer for the gruff cowboy. Neither one of them thought the auction would be a success, but Layla finds it hard to keep her hands off the cowboy, and Jack falls for her sweet smile and wild sense of humor. True love should run smoothly, right? Except Layla's got a secret, and Jack's right in the line of fire. Does she risk everything for her Valentine cowboy, or does she betray her closest, or those closest to her? Okay, so at least the plot sounds different enough from Done and Dusted or the Rebel Blue Ranch series, because based on the cover and that it takes place in Wyoming, I was like, Anyways, those are the 3 books I got from Berkeley. Thank you so much to Berkeley for gifting me these books. And again, these 2 I will definitely be reading in the fall. The cowboy one, I'm probably gonna save for Valentine's Day if it takes place around Valentine's Day. And now let's go over the books from Ace Publishing, which is another imprint of Penguin Random House like Berkeley. This one I am so excited for. Again, I will be reading in October for an upcoming video. And it is Uncharmed by Lucy Jane Wood. I read Rewitched by this author last year, and it was a really cozy fantasy. So this one is another one about a witch, and in this one she bakes and she has a cat, and that is literally me. Well, I have 3 cats, but anyways. It says, a perfect witch must learn to embrace imperfection and live for herself in this spellbinding cozy fantasy sprinkled with love, laughter, and magic. I am so excited. I literally don't want to wait to read this. I've had this one for some of the longest time, I think, out of all the books in this video. I've had it for close to a month probably, and I have wanted to read it literally since I got it, but I am saving it for October. Just Look at this cover. It's so beautiful. Actually, I really love the Europe cover, like that one. If you've seen that, is so cute. I mean, this one's really cute as well, but the other one just like shows more of the baking aspect of the book. And then this strange package showed up randomly one day and I was like, what is going on? But inside of it were 4 books. The first one is Violet Thistlethwaite is Not a Villain Anymore, and this cover is just so stunning. Even the back as well, like it continues with the artwork. I love it already based on the cover. This is an advanced copy. It doesn't look like it comes out until November 18th. And this one says, a plant witch and grumpy alchemist must work together to save their town from a magical plague in this debut cozy fantasy romance about starting over, redemption, and what it really means to be a good person. Once again, one that looks like perfect fall reading. That is definitely a common theme of today's video. The next book in that box was Colin Gets Promoted and Dooms the World. And this one also is an early copy. It comes out October 7th. And I'm just gonna read the back of this one to you because I literally don't know how to summarize it. Colin is a low-level employee at Dark Enterprises, a hell-like multinational corporation solving the world's most difficult problems in deeply questionable ways. After years of toiling away in a cubicle, he's ready to climb the corporate ladder and claim the world he's never had. The only problem is, he's pretty sure he's about to be terminated. Like, terminated. That's tough because his BFF has just set him up with a great guy. In fact, maybe he's a little too great and asks a lot of questions. When Colin meets a shadowy figure promising him his heart's deepest desire, he can't resist the urge to fast-track his goals. In return for a small, unspecified favor, he asks for the one thing that will improve his life, a promotion. But that small favor unleashes an ancient evil. People in New York are disappearing, the world might be ending, and management is starting to notice. Getting to the top is never easy, and now it's up to Colin to save the world. It's the ultimate power move after all. So this sounds like a really funny sort of fantasy book. Then we have Blind Date with a Werewolf. Again, this is an early copy. This one comes out October 21st. And this one says, when the deadly werewolf Azel is gifted 5 blind dates by some anonymous friends, his reclusive life will never be the same. And this cover I really like as well. And the last book we had in that box was Ember Eternal by Chloe Neal. This one comes out November 25th. Says it is a new romantasy following a thief whose dramatic encounter with an assassin and a crown bodyguard, who happens to be a royal in disguise, launches her into a world of swirling palace intrigue. And then they also included a little sticker sheet in there. So thank you so much to Ace Publishing for gifting me these 4 books. Next I have 2 books from Bloomsbury and Sourcebooks, which are like of the same imprint. The first one is Burn Bright by Krista and Becky Ritchie, or Becca Ritchie. I don't know why I said Becky. I'm pretty sure these are the authors of the Addicted series, which I know is very popular. I have not read it yet. I would like to at some point in my life, but I haven't gotten to it yet. This is a college romance. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like a messy, spicy romance. I really love this cover, the blue and the butterflies, and then the spine is also stunning. So thank you, Bloomsbury. And then from Sourcebooks is The Good Girl Effect by Sarah Kate, and this is what is called like a second gen book. So basically there's another series that technically comes before this book, but you don't have to read them like in order. Keep Me is that first book series, but this is a new like spicy forbidden romance book. I'm pretty sure he is a professor and then she is the nanny because he is a single dad. And I mean, look at the art. That's crazy. It takes place in Paris. It is a single dad and nanny. I think this looks like such a fun, more like palette cleanser romance book. Thank you to Sourcebooks. Now I'll go over some indie books and then just kind of like miscellaneous books from other publishers. The first indie book I have here is Ascension by J.L. Giacola. This one says, prophecy has defined Violissa's life for as long as she can remember. It states she will marry her enemy, the Dark Prince Sinnoh, and bring peace to realms that have been at war since the dawn of time. Longing for some control over her life, she turns her back on destiny, risking the wrath of the fates. But as her relationship with Sinnoh develops, she discovers too late that her need for free will is no match to the power that binds her heart to his. As Sinnoh spirals under the influence of his dark magic and the sinister workings of his half-brother lead them further apart, Violissa must fight to undo the damage her decision has caused, but finding her way back to the prophecy's path will prove an arduous task for the further it strays from the fate's intent. Always good to have more fantasy on your TBR, especially for the fall time. And then this one's really exciting. This is A Liar's Twisted Tongue by Caroline Cusinelli. So I already love this cover. And then it also included some goodies. So we have this foil bookmark, this letter that kind of like has to do with the book, some artwork, and it says, Desdemona's fire is both weapon and curse, a flicker of defiance in the world determined to extinguish her. Lies have kept her alive this long, wrapped tight around her like armor, but every secret sparks new danger. Survival is a cruel game of endurance, and she plays it with her heart in her teeth, her past at her heels, and the flames of truth licking closer every day. She knows the price of honesty. She carries the scars of every truth she dared to tell. To survive, she must embrace the fire that threatens to consume her. Also have a cute little pouch with stickers. And then this is where it gets really, really good. A tote bag. And then I'm just gonna read you some of the quote on the tote bag because I'm obsessed. Like literally these first sentences. You could be any man's ruin. I might call it a privilege to be one of them. Yeah. So that quote alone on the tote bag is really convincing me to read this book. Like, I need a good romantasy, and from that quote, this sounds like an amazing romantasy. Once again, you can never have enough fantasy and romantasy on your TBR for the fall time. Thank you so much to the authors who sent me their books. Bloomsbury sent me Bog Queen by Anna North, and when they reached out, they told me it gives kind of the same vibes as Wild Dark Shore because it's like environmental with that mystery thriller aspect, and this cover is definitely eerie, so I can see that. I really enjoyed Wild Dark Shore earlier this year, so when they told me it gives similar vibes, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna want to read that. It says, when a body is found in a bog in northwest England, Agnes, an American forensic anthropologist, is called to investigate, but this body is not like any she's ever seen. Though its bones prove it was buried more than 2,000 years ago, it's almost completely preserved. Soon, Agnes is drawn into a mystery from the distant past, calling to understand and avenge the death of an Iron Age woman more like her than she knows. Along the way, she must contend with peat cutters who want to profit from the bog and activists who demand that the land be left undisturbed. Then there's the moss itself, a complex repository of artifacts and remains with its own dark stories to tell. As Agnes faces the deep history of what she has unearthed, she also forced to question what she thought she knew about her talent, her self-reliance, and her place in the world. Definitely sounds very interesting and a little eerie, which that is good for fall reading as well. Thank you so much to Bloomsbury for reaching out and sending me this book. And then from Bookouture, I'm never entirely sure how to pronounce that. They sent me this thriller, The Liar I Married. It says this is an absolutely nail-biting and addictive psychological thriller that is perfect for the readers of The Housemaid, The Girl on the Train, and The Perfect Marriage. Prepare to be hooked. And this just looks like a really quick thriller to add, which I always love quick thrillers like this for a palate cleanser between heavier reads. Thank you to Bookouture. And then this one, you guys, I was so excited to receive. The Fourth Wing official coloring book. Celebrate the breathtaking passion, fierce dragons, and dangerous moments of the global phenomenon Fourth Wing, created through the eyes of devoted fans. This unique coloring collection brings together 40 images created by fan artists inspired to capture the unforgettable scenes and characters from Rebecca Yarros's Empyrean series, a visual tribute for riders, rebels, and readers everywhere. So I'll just kind of flip through it a little bit. I love that there's like the actual colored artwork. Oh, not sure what that is. As well as like the pages that I'm in a color as well. I just was so excited to get this in the mail. Artwork! Oh, and some stickers. And they also sent me this Fourth Wing pencil pouch with already sharpened colored pencils, which amazing because I don't even think I own a pencil sharpener. I love to color when I'm listening to audiobooks, so I will definitely be doing that with this coloring book. Thank you, Andrews McMeel Publishing, for sending me this. And lastly, let's go over the 6 books that I bought myself throughout the month. First, with my Book of the Month subscription, I got Play Nice by Rachel Harrison, and this is actually a horror book, which I rarely ever read horrors. I think I've maybe read like 3 horrors in my life. I don't know. I could count the amount of times on one hand for sure. So I thought that would be really, really fun to mix it up with and obviously like get me into kind of the spooky season spirit. I'm pretty sure this one follows the main character who she grew up in a haunted house and now I think her parents might have died, so she like inherits the house basically, and it is possessed by demons, which I hate demons. Like, anyone in my personal life knows that demons are actually my biggest fear ever, so you're probably like, Brianna, why would you even read this if you're so scared of it? I'm still so like intrigued by them for some reason. I don't know, but I can assure you I will probably be praying to God extra hard to protect me while I'm reading this book. I just thought it would be fun to kind of mix things up and get me outside of the comfort of the box that I usually stick in with my reading. But I am scared, so wish me luck. And then I had an extra credit for Book of the Month because I used one of my like reader's guarantee credits because I didn't like one of the books I've read recently from Book of the Month. And I decided to get the Book of Lost Hours, and this is a fantasy book. It asks the question, who would you rewrite history for? Enter the time space, a soaring library filled with books containing the memories of those who have passed and accessed only by specially made watches once handed down from father to son, but now mostly in government hands. This is where 11-year-old Lisavette Levy finds herself trapped in 1938, waiting for her watchmaker father to return. When he doesn't return, she grows up among the books and specters, able to see the world only by sifting through the memories of those who came before her. As she realizes that government agents are entering the time space to destroy books and maintain their preferred version of history, she sets about saving these scraps in her own volume of memories. Until the appearance of an American spy named Ernest, I'm not gonna try to pronounce that, in 1949 offers her a glimpse of the world she left behind, setting her own on course to change history and possibly the time-space itself. In 1965, 16-year-old Amelia, same last name, is mourning the disappearance of her uncle Ernest while an enigmatic CIA agent approaches her to enlist her help in tracking down a book of memories her uncle had once sought. But as Amelia visits the time space for the first time, she realizes that the past and the truth might not be as linear as she'd like to believe. That just sounded really, really intriguing to me, so that's why I picked it out. And then if you watched my book shopping video, you saw that I picked out King of Envy because I'm getting back into the series by Anna Huang, and I hadn't bought this one yet, and they had the Barnes & Noble exclusive, which I have the Barnes & Noble exclusive in the rest of the series, so obviously needed to get it in this one to match. And then I also got Intermezzo by Sally Rooney, and my husband and I are going to read this one together for our book club in November. And then I did buy A Reign of Rose, which is the third and final book in the Sacred Stones trilogy. I have already talked about this series on my channel, but I thought I would include this in the books that I have bought. This is an amazing romantasy trilogy, and I definitely recommend it. And then the last book that I bought myself is Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. This has also already been featured on my YouTube channel. I read it in my 5-star reads prediction reading vlog. And this book is just so stunning. Like, on the inside and outside, this is the perfect book. So that wraps up this book haul video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. As always, make sure to comment any other videos you'd like to see from me, and I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!